Hey guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Dodge Durango SRT 392.
And a big thanks to Mike at Furman Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Newport Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Newport Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And that's for Mike.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Durango started off as Dodge's midsize SUV back in 1998. Moving up to what was considered the full-size segment in 2004 and back to the mid-size segment in 2011 for the third generation that you still see here for 2024. The 2024 Durango is available in 4 power plants. The 6.4-liter V8 that we have here sits only below the 700 horsepower Hellcat models. And for the SRT 392 Durangos, we have 3 trims ranging from the $74,000 base up to the $85,000 premium that we have here. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So since 2011, Durango really hasn't changed much in terms of styling. The trim pieces here and there are different, but for this SRT trim level, this is one of the most aggressive ways to get into a 2024 Durango outside, of course, of the Hellcat, which from a styling perspective isn't really a whole lot different. Yes, the wheels are a tiny bit wider in the Hellcat, and instead of 392 emblems, we have the actual Hellcat logo. Up front, we get full front parking sensing, panel housing your advanced safety feature. Unfortunately, no forward-facing camera or 360. That would be expected at this price point, but it's still a very well-loaded performance SUV. We get functional airflow in both corners, ton of airflow for the radiator, which is massive for the 6.4-liter Hemi V8. We get an SRT badge in the lower right corner of the grille. I kind of wish we had a color contrast, like a red SRT badge, just so it popped a little bit more. We get a hood scoop and heat extractors in this hood to help keep this 6.4-liter monster V8 nice and cool. We get full LED headlamps, LED projector for the high and low beam with an LED turn signal and daytime running light here for at least the premium version of the Durango. I believe all Durangos get some type of LED headlight, but I think the 392s get these specific black accents and daytime running light. The wheel and tire setup, we get these black Y-spoke 20-inch rims, 5-lug pattern wrapped in Pirelli P0 all-season tires. The run flats, the dimensions are 295/45 ZR20 with a massive SRT Brembo Performance 6-piston brake caliper up front with slotted rotors, and we get SRT Brembo brake calipers out rear too. We'll check those out in 1 second. It says SRT as part of the center cap, side sensor, helping us out for the front and rear parking sensing. We get body color trim for the wheel well area, 392 blacked out mirror cap, LED turn signal on it, body color trim for the rocker panel side skirt area. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger, black trim for the bottom part of the window trim, body color up top, black roof rails, sunroof, shark fin style antenna. Mentioned the rear wheel and tire setup. These are still 295/45 ZR20, so you can do tire rotations here on this SRT 392 Durango with still a beefy dual piston SRT Brembo brake caliper out rear. Still a Pirelli Scorpion Zero all-season tires. The 45 series sidewalls, although they're relatively low profile, they should still be beefy enough to keep this ride quality nice and plush, although they are a run flat tire. The gas cap is not pushed open. I'll show you the latch is inside. Out rear, we get LED taillights, turn signals, but the reverse lights appear to be halogen. The rest of it is LED and it does connect to itself. Durango H4 logo in the left corner, that signifies the all-wheel drive. SRT in the opposite corner, full rear parking sensing, tow hitch behind this plastic trim. I believe the 392 can tow 8,700 pounds. Dual exhaust tips too, and speaking of the dual exhaust tips, let's fire up this monster 6.4-liter Hemi V8, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the monster 6.4-liter Hemi V8 sold by Dodge for the 2024 Durango SRT 392. And it sounds really good, cranking out 475 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive system. That's enough to get this almost 5,500-pound 3-row SUV to 60 in 4.1 seconds according to Car and Driver, which is insane. Price point wise, we're competing with a BMW X7 40i, and acceleration wise, we're competing with an M60, and that says a lot. Anyway, we can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2024 Durango SRT 392 one more time, and it's a beautiful SUV. As far as styling, yes, it's a little bit dated, but they really don't need to change up a whole lot because when it came out back in 2011, it was one of the best lookers and sticking to it to this day. As far as the interior, with about an $85,000 base price with the premium package, which is the top of the line Durango SRT 392. Let's see what we get. So we don't get stitching up top, but it's still soft touch materials. We get gushy soft stitching for the armrest, faux wood trim, auto one touch up front, power windows out back, four-way adjustable mirrors. Unfortunately, they're not power folding, but really not a big deal. Two-person memory seats, aluminum door handle, booming Harman Kardon audio system, solid amount of storage down below, just hard plastic for the outside, but you'll easily fit a foot long in there with a big gulp right in front of it. Taking a step inside, we have an aluminum SRT nameplate and beautiful red SRT performance bucket seats. White contrast stitching, fully adjustable. You have four-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats, which are also heated and ventilated. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop. And everything fires right to life. But first thing we notice is the steering wheel. It is thick. We get perforation for the 9.3 and 10.2 area, really thick. Even for the bottom, we get a flat bottom SRT horn area, which is hard plastic, but the horn itself, loud and aggressive. People will definitely be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do get dual panes, also a premium touch, but to be expected for the price point. You can hang up and answer your phone calls, voice commands. You can adjust this infotainment system. You get your radar cruise control with forward and rear distance control, and the adjustment for the cruise control right above it. The infotainment, as we mentioned, we can adjust between speedometer. You can go beneath vehicle info, adjust between top speed, recent speed, 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 timer, reaction timer for the 1/8 mile, reaction time for the 1/4 mile, and we have braking distance, current G-forces, peak G-forces, and you can reset everything with a click of a button with your lap history. Cool. Beneath that, we have our driver assistance screen, and beneath that, we get our fuel economy for our trip and current. You can also see your trip computer, trip A, trip B, and right back where we started. Beneath it, we get our trailer information with a trailer reset and trailer brake controller. Beneath that, we have our audio. You can see what songs currently playing, messages, screen setup, diagnostics. That's also appreciated for a vehicle in this price point. You can see everything that's wrong or okay with your vehicle. You also get a speed warning and our digital speedo, which is my personal favorite to leave it at all times. And you can set it to KMPH or MPH, whether you'd like to for one reason or another. The speedo goes to 180 miles per hour. TAC goes to about 5,900. Top right, we have a coolant temperature. Bottom right, we get our fuel level. The stocks have a pretty satisfying click. We get auto headlamps, auto high beams. I don't think we get auto rain sensing wipers, but the intermittent stock right there in the center. Aluminum paddle shifters, mentioned the auto headlamps, interior brightness, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, and we get our aluminum outline pedals. Fully stitched dashboard, it feels really soft and premium. Auto dimming rear view mirror, but it's a little bit dated, not frameless. Regardless, we get this massive 10-inch touchscreen, really good response. We get our performance pages too. Let's take a quick look at them. Reaction time, recent, last, and best. Gauges, dyno and engine, G-force, and the vehicle dynamics. We can also go back to our vehicle settings, check out our race options. And as far as race options, here we have launch control, which is not active. Maybe we'll check out launch control in this review, but again, it's a dealership car, so not necessarily necessary. Finally, in our vehicle settings, we have our drive modes. You have auto, sport, track, snow, and tow. In auto, let's take a listen to this engine. Pretty loud and aggressive. In track mode, let's see what changes up. Just about the exact same, maybe a little bit burblier. I don't think the exhaust here is an active setup, which I kind of wish it was. For a vehicle in this price point, it would be nice to be able to turn this exhaust into a more quiet mode. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Navigation screen, let's check it out once it loads up. Just like my Ram 1500, the response is excellent, the display is fantastic, and we get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have our home screen, let's check it out. There you go, pretty basic, media, and comfort. And although you can adjust all the climate controls through the touchscreen, we also get hard buttons down below, so big thumbs up to Dodge for sticking with that. My personal favorite screen to look at all times would probably be the drive mode, so we can adjust it to our liking. Beneath that we get red leather with white contrast stitching, red engine start stop button, volume dials, a satisfying resistance, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel with all the adjustments down below. You have a shortcut to your drive mode select by pressing this SRT button, shortcut to the launch control to hazards, you can turn off the traction control, turn off the parking sensing, and turn off the lane keep assist. Wireless phone charger, USB-A and C ports, you get 2 of each. Nice additional storage compartment. The gear selector controls the 8-speed automatic transmission. The backup camera, the resolution is not great, but you can still see everything that you have going on back there with guidance lines and trajectory. I mentioned we get paddle shifters, which are aluminum. We also have manual shift controls for the gear selector in the proper direction to upshift and to downshift. Throwing it back into park, we get 2 cup holders with interior illumination. You'll fit 16, possibly 24-ounce bottles. Nice spot for a key right next to it. The armrest is gushy soft leather wrapped. It's 2-tier storage. The first tier is spacious. You'll fit probably 5 or 6 1-liter bottles of soda. And you can drop down the second tier. You'll throw your car accessories, pens, business cards in there. Cool. The glove box, to the left of it we get our 12-volt. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. The glove box itself is damped. Lined with felt, very well damped. Takes a long time to come down. And you'll fit about 20 license plates in there, easily fit a pair of shoes. More of that camouflage faux wood trim above it. We mentioned the non-frameless but auto-dimming rear view mirror. We get 3 garage home link settings, sunglass holder, trunk release. We have our interior lights too. The interior lights are not LED, but they still do the job. We mentioned the sunroof. We can open it up. It opens up pretty quickly. I'm not sure if we mentioned the suede Alcantara headliner that comes equipped in the premium package. And it goes out towards the end of the front row. Beautiful day today in Port Richey. Sunny and 70 degrees according to this SRT 392. There's absolutely no chance that it's anything below 80 degrees because I am sweating back here. Anyway, we can shut this sunroof right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it for the inside, or at least for the front row of this 2024 Durango SRT 392. Let's check out this window sticker. That is not the correct window sticker. This is the correct window sticker for this 2024 Durango SRT 392 black all-wheel drive. With a $74,995 base price, you guys can pause, take a look at all the standard features. It comes loaded with them. And speaking of loaded, with this $11,000 premium package, we get blind spot 4 trailer detection, high performance Laguna leather seats, advanced brake assist, SRT red Brembo performance brakes with a 2-piece front rotor, red seat belt, suede headliner, second row console with armrest and storage, power sunroof, premium instrument panel, 12-volt auxiliary power outlet in the console, lane departure warning plus, full speed forward collision warning plus, black roof rails, integrated roof rail crossbars, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, or with just stop, 19 Harman Kardon speakers with subwoofer, 825 watts. USB charging port in the console, class 4 receiver hitch, trailer brake controller, forged carbon fiber interior accents, $1,845 for the black package, giving us the gray metallic badges, Eclipse black exhaust tips, and the 20 by 10 inch lights out aluminum wheels. $1,595 for destination, totaling us out at $89,640. Definitely getting up there in price, but when considering a BMW X7 with the 6 cylinders costing this much money, here you get an 8-cylinder with M60 BMW X7 performance for literally 40i price. We have 15 combined MPGs, which definitely isn't the greatest, 13 in the city, 19 on the highway, but I believe that's a pretty conservative estimate because Car and Driver tested it at a combined 15.5 to 16 MPGs, which of course, definitely not great, but considering a near 500-pound SUV weighing in at 5,500 pounds, I guess 15 to 16 combined MPGs isn't necessarily the worst. Out rear, let's check out the space and materials. Up top, we get soft touch to be expected. Leather stitch armrest, not auto one touch for the rear window. We'll see if it's dual pane. It is not, but it's a thick single pane. 2 Harman Kardon speakers, storage for the armrest area, and additional storage down below. You'll fit a 6-inch sub, probably stacked 2 on top of each other, with a big gulp right in front of it. The rear seats are buckets, and we get a full center console. That's part of the premium package too. The bolsters are also solid for a back seat. Space, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I have about 6-7 inches of knee room. We'll see if the seats go back any further. The front seats, unfortunately, don't slide back and forth, but they do recline in the upright position. I have about 2-3 inches of headroom and about 6-ish inches of knee room, and it's fully reclined position. I got closer to like a foot of headroom and just a couple more inches or a couple of inches left of knee room. We get air vents back here too, with a full separate third zone climate control. That's appreciated. Heated second row seats, 2 USB 8 ports, and you can adjust where the vents blow as well. Cargo nets behind both of the front seats. The front seats have leather stitching even for the back of them. I mentioned a suede Alcantara headliner. Center console, it's leather with white contrast stitching. It's a 2-tier center console. The first tier is perfect for business cards. Kids can throw their pencils, crayons, if they don't mind them melting in your back seat. In the second tier, it is a really deep storage compartment. Hopefully you can pick up just how far it goes out. You'll fit 3 or 4 2-liter bottles of soda in there. You'll fit 16 to 24 ounce bottles with pushy things to keep your drinks in place. Good spot for a phone and a wallet. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat. Really comfortable, very premium feel. As far as the third row, let's hop back there, see how much space is offered back there, and see the overall quality of the material. So it's not a one-step process. You gotta drop the front seat and then lift, or the back seat, and then lift the back seat up. We're taking a step out towards the third row. Pretty easy process once you lift the second row up, and lifting the second row completely up. As you guys can see, I still fit back here. Yes, I'm running out of space. I have about an inch, half an inch of knee room, headroom, about half an inch to an inch. So if you're over 6'2", 6'3", you'll probably not want to spend a whole lot of time back there. But at 6 feet tall, I would have no problem. My parents used to drive 3-row SUVs when I was a kid. My mom would drive Acura MDXs usually. My dad would get Ford Explorers. And compared to a Ford Explorer back in the day and Acura MDX, this is a way more spacious back seat. It's not competitive with any of the full-size segment outside of like a Toyota Sequoia, but compared to the mid-size segment, it is spacious. Also, if you're in the third row, you can push this button that says push, and it allows you to open up the console and throw in or take out whatever stuff you may need without bothering the people in the second row. That's also a cool feature. You get 2 cup holders, rubberized material for the armrest. That's also a premium touch. Most of the segment will have just hard plastic. Also, on top of the air vents in the console, both rows of seats get air vents to blow directly into your face. The third row doesn't get a separate 4th zone climate control, but of course would not be expected. The window is also large for the third row passenger to see out of. Third row gets an additional 12-volt outlet, more speakers, but that's about it. To get out of here, it's a pretty tough process, but you can just lift this red latch, seat folds down, and you can lift it up. So no, it's really not that tough of a process. Relatively competitive with the rest of the mid-size segment. I was not expecting the third row to be that spacious. I was more than comfortable back there. You give me a long trip, I'll be able to sit in that third row with no problem. If I was 2 or 3 inches taller, I may start to complain, but I'm not, so I'm not going to start to complain. The cargo space, the button, is right over here. We have an electronically opening lift gate. It gives you half a second to a second to get out of the way so you don't get duped in the head if you're holding groceries. The step in height for this cargo space is solid, about 4 or 5 inches above my knees. So if you have older or smaller pets, it shouldn't be the toughest process for them to hop back here. You can drop this third row seat down by pulling this latch and just pushing it forward. The headrest falls automatically. We got our floor mats, secret storage. Let's check out and see how much space. Very solid amount of space, and looks like there's a drain plug back here too. We got our jack and the rest of our Fix-A-Flat kit there as well. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much space is offered back here with the third row up, third row down, and second row down. Before a mid-size 3-row SUV, this was really one of the game changers for the segment, this and the Ford Explorer, but in my opinion, this has held up a lot better than that previous generation Explorer. I mean, come on, Explorers were updated 4 or 5 years ago, whereas this Durango has basically been unchanged for the last 14, 15 years. The button for the trunk, it's not on the top of the trunk, which I really heavily prefer. The button to close the trunk is over here in the corner. So if you got all the grocery bags in your hands and they're heavy, you don't want to be lifting them up over your head to press the button on the trunk. Here, you got the bags in your hands, you simply press the button right here on the side, take a step back. It gives you like 2-3 seconds to get out of the way before it starts falling. So you really don't have to worry about getting doofed in the head. But that's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this beautiful monster 2024 Dodge Durango SRT 392. For a sub $100,000 luxury performance SUV, I know it sounds really expensive for an American SUV, but compared to American SUVs like a Cadillac Escalade, Jeep Wagoneer, this is actually cheaper than even a mid-level trim for one of those vehicles, while being significantly more performance oriented. And as you saw, somebody over 6 feet tall can sit comfortably in the third row. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 Durango SRT 392 out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Dodge Durango SRT 392. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, though, the steering feels really good. The throttle is super sensitive. Ride quality is also solid. We'll throw it into auto mode. We'll also try it out in track, of course. But in auto mode, we'll start off. Throttle response is sharp. Whew, everything's flying around. Oh, it is a quick SUV. In auto mode, it idles down quickly, so when you're not on the gas, it's not loud at all. Brakes feel amazing, especially for a massive 3-row SUV. Taking a step out here on the gas. Woo! Oh, that's just in auto mode. All right, guys, taking a step out here. Yeah, in auto mode, the throttle is still really responsive, but the steering gets lighter and the ride quality gets a lot softer. That's the biggest difference, I think, is the steering and the ride quality. For daily driving, I could definitely see most people choosing to remain in auto mode. But we'll take it out of auto mode in a couple minutes and throw it through some twisties and beat it up a little bit in track. In auto mode, really comfortable suspension, and in track, it does stiffen up noticeably. Try out these paddles. Oh, throwing it in. Body roll is like non-existent. On the gas. Oh, that was track mode. The shifts get a lot more aggressive. Oh my God. Wow. This thing is quick, but we don't need to beat it up a whole lot further. Not on this road. I'll catch back with you in 1 second. All right, right here, looks like a decent spot to try out an acceleration. First gear on the gas. Oh, oh my God. It is so ridiculously quick. It sounds really good. You hear a little bit of burbles too when you let off the throttle sometimes. Not every time, but listen. Yeah, subtle, but you still hear it nevertheless. For premium 3-row SUVs, definitely not something you get very frequently. Can't have launch control, unfortunately, but off the line, we'll try one out. Off the line, on the gas. Oh my God. Good Lord. It is a monster. I'm throwing it in. Woo! This thing's a beast. It is fast. I could definitely see 0 to 60 happening in the mid 4 seconds. I'm not quite sure if I could see low 4 seconds. Let's try it out one more time. Try like a subtle brake boost. Let's go. Oh! Yeah, maybe low 4s are definitely a possibility. But with launch control, without launch control, I don't know if it's going to be super duper likely. It sounds so good. Throwing it in. Good handling. Brakes are amazing. Ride quality is so good. Even in the track mode, the ride quality is so good. Such snappy shifts. It is ridiculous. I can only imagine what the SRT Hellcat version of this would feel like. Whew. All right, but we don't have to beat it up a whole lot further. Hopefully you guys get the point. The performance of this SUV is insane. Overall, guys, we'll take it out of track mode, auto mode. Whew, this thing is awesome. If you're looking for a luxury 3-row SUV, you're ready to spend 75, 80K on one, but you want it to perform. Considering that you have 2-row luxury SUVs, BMW X5, Genesis GV70, Genesis GV80, that are creeping up towards 85, 90,000 bucks. And yes, they are a tiny bit more premium than what you're seeing here, but really not by much. When you compare the level of performance that you get here, it's not even remotely close. And we're not talking about like an ugly, outdated car here. Yes, you may consider it outdated because it doesn't have the most updated brand new tech. No, it doesn't have the most futuristic looking interior, futuristic looking exterior. It doesn't need to be. I think all these futuristic looking cars nowadays with their interiors, it's a little bit tacky in my opinion. This gives you a clean, elegant balance between traditional looking interiors and modern, more tech oriented interiors, while really giving you the performance. If that's what you're looking for, guys, this 2024 Dodge Durango SRT 392 is most likely the best way to go outside of a Hellcat, because I mean the Hellcat just gives you everything that you got here plus an extra 20-30% more aggressive performance. Again, if that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking one out. One more time on the gas. I mean, it speaks for itself. And a big thanks to Mike and the rest of the management and staff here at Furman Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram here in Newport Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Newport Richey, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Mike. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.